Tatarstan has for centuries been a place of exceptional commitment to pluralistic values. The city of Kazan and the larger region have long been renowned for their rich mix of ethnicities and cultures, including the impressive way in which their architectural heritage has been preserved and respected.
Architects need to venture out and look into different facets of society.
Poverty, the demographic explosion, issues that the world at large is dealing with.
To go beyond purely aesthetic concerns and to serve a purpose. It's not easy.
Architects are not trained for this. Architects are not trained to address the issues of the world.
It's not only about giving an award to a project, but influencing the practice itself and trying to shift it towards a better future.
And even though it's an award that concentrates on the Islamic world, I strongly believe that the issues it addresses are very much universal in nature.
The Aga Khan Award has actually changed the conversation.
До сегодняшнего дня многие из нас, здесь сидящих, встречающихся, знали только по информации, мировой информации, той миссии, которую по Земле, по нашей планете несет Его Высочество Карим Ага Хан. Вот сегодня, к нашему счастью, он перед нами и непосредственно, значит, встречается с нами. Огромное вам спасибо, что вы доехали из-за этих земель и оказали огромное уважение к нашему народу, к нашим верующим и ко всей Российской Федерации, всем нам. Спасибо вам, Биг Зурак Мачукран.
I think of this ceremony as marking the history of this wonderful country and its relationship with the faith which we all practice. As we look forward to the future, it's important that we carry with us the values of our faith, that they be there around the world all the time amongst all Muslims. So I take this occasion to say how happy I am to be here, to participate with you in the launch of this stamp process, and I wish happiness, good success in the practice of faith, and that we all work together for peace in our world. Thank you. It is striking to realize that nearby Bolgar, which I visited yesterday, became a Muslim religious center as early as 922, almost 1100 years ago. Through the centuries, the spirit of pluralism in Tatarstan has known times of difficult challenge and times of inspiring renewal. But through everything, a commitment to inclusiveness has persisted. This spirit was encouraged under the pluralist leadership of several of the Muslim khanates that governed the area in the 14th and 15th centuries. I have seen how committed people can honor the power both of cultural identity and cultural pluralism. It is striking to see how churches and mosques, for example, have been built and preserved right next to one another as powerful symbols of a profound intercultural dialogue.
Your Highness the Aga Khan, Your Excellency Mintamir Shaimiev, First President of the Republic, honored representative of the Russian Federation, ladies and gentlemen, hörmetli konuklar. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 Aga Khan Award for Architecture Prize giving ceremony. Since the first award ceremony in 1980, we have celebrated the winners of each triennial cycle all over the world, in places where Muslims are present and where they have enriched cultural heritage. These include the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, the Alhambra in Granada, the Registan Square in Samarkand, as well as important sites in Pakistan, Morocco, Egypt, Indonesia, Syria, India, Malaysia, Qatar, Portugal, and United Arab Emirates. It's a great honor that today we gather from four corners of the world in this wonderful city of Kazan, one of the most northeastern territories where some 1,000 years ago Islam was introduced, to bring the world's attention to the 6 exemplary projects. When we celebrate architecture, we are celebrating the collective efforts of architects, clients, and many other specialists in making a positive change to our built environment. The quality of the spaces where we live, where we work, where we are educated and spend our leisure time has a direct link to our quality of life. Today, we recognize 6 projects that show the promise of architecture and what it can do to realize the aspiration of Muslim communities worldwide.
Ваше Превосходительство, Ага Хан IV, Ваше превосходительство, господин первый президент Татарстана Ментимир Шарипович Шарипов, мне очень приятно быть здесь сегодня и от имени президента правительства Российской Федерации выразить большую радость тем, что здесь, на российской земле, мы принимаем номинацию такой замечательной, престижной премии. Я хочу от всей души поблагодарить организаторов этого замечательного события, еще раз поблагодарить его превосходительство Ага Хана за то, что вы оказали честь быть здесь, выбрать российских номинантов. Это для нас большая честь. И номинантам этой премии пожелать удачи, успехов творческих и всяческого благополучия. Спасибо большое за внимание и приятного вечера.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Your Excellency Mintima Shaiminyev, Your Excellency Eleonora Mitofanova, respected members of government, distinguished guests. What an enormous pleasure it is to welcome all of you to this ceremony. We gather today with a group of extraordinary people, in an extraordinary place, and for an extraordinary purpose. The Aga Khan Award for Architecture is organized around a series of 3-year cycles, each one culminating in the recognition of our award recipients. Tonight, we celebrate the outcomes of our 14th cycle. This is an extraordinary moment for me as I think back to our decision to launch this program more than 4 decades ago. What led to that decision, you may ask, as many have asked then and since. Just why should the Ismaili Imamate become so deeply involved in the world of professional architecture? The simple answer lies in my conviction that architecture, more than any other art form, has a profound impact on the quality of human life. As it has often been said, we shape our built environment, and then our buildings shape us. This close relationship of architecture to the quality of human experience has a particularly profound resonance in the developing world. I believe that we all have a responsibility to improve the quality of life whenever and wherever that opportunity arises. Our commitment to influencing the quality of architecture, intellectually and materially, grows directly out of our commitment to improving the quality of human life. As you may know, over these 4 decades, we have recognized a vast array of architectural contributions, including over 9,000 nominated projects. But the value of this program goes far beyond recognizing specific projects. The Aga Khan Architectural Award is not simply a prize, it is a process. This process involves a wide range of conversations all across the world that shape the selection process. The theme of the cycle, which culminates today, is Architecture in Dialogue. This theme, which emerged out of the deliberations of the steering committee and master jury, sees architecture as a robust interchange, one that can embrace a variety of diverse and even divergent perspectives. A true dialogue requires not only that we articulate one perspective, but also that we listen attentively to other perspectives. More than that, it asks us not only to listen to one another, but also to learn from one another. There are several ways in which architecture can blend different perspectives. Let me briefly describe just 4 of them. First of all, we must foster a healthy dialogue among the actual participants in the architectural process. I don't mean only the skilled architects themselves, but also those who collaborate with them: clients, community leaders, public officials, educators, and the builders, designers, and craftsmen who help realize their plans. Our master jury for this cycle paid close attention to this dimension, looking at qualities such as leadership, cooperation, and openness, qualities that help produce creative dialogue. A second dialogue that advances the best in human architecture is an open dialogue between the past and the future. This means more than simply copying the past or merely tacking some ancient arch or minaret or calligraphy onto a new building. On the other hand, it also means more than a heedless modernistic approach, so that it ignores our rich heritage. Our realization more than 40 years ago that architectural practice in Muslim societies had recently been forgetting its own history helped us to shape the nature of this award. The dialogue we seek is one that will blend the inspiration of the past with the demands of the future. The demands are many: environmental, social, technological, and economic, not to mention the challenges of a political polarization. In all of these respects, looking back can help us look forward, and vice versa. A third dialogue that commands architectural attention is the dialogue between nature on the one hand and human creativity on the other. Both the natural world and the world of human capacities are divine gifts, but it is tempting sometimes to embrace one without thinking much about the other. Fourth, and finally, I would emphasize the importance of intercultural dialogue in meeting the architectural opportunities of our time. I have mentioned how this award grew out of a concern with the deterioration, what some of us called the hibernation, of rich Muslim architectural traditions. But honoring one's own historic identity should not imply some sort of narrow isolation. The rich architectural dialogue we seek to foster should include a renewed respect for the rich diversity of Islamic cultures themselves. As a way to exemplify this concern, we recently opened a new Aga Khan Center in London, in which 7 Islamic gardens have been created, reflecting 7 different Muslim traditions. In addition, we should be working to foster a rich dialogue with non-Islamic cultures, including diverse religious traditions. Architecture can lead the way in this effort as we listen to one another and learn from one another across old divides. Pluralism means more than merely tolerating a diversity of influences and ideas. It also means welcoming the learning opportunities that diversity provides, finding ways to honor that which is unique in our individual traditions, as well as those values that connect us to all of humankind. We must think of diversity as a divine gift, a blessing, not a burden. I mentioned earlier that we are meeting today in a special place. Tatarstan has for centuries been a place of exceptional commitment to pluralistic values. The city of Kazan and the larger region have long been renowned for their rich mix of ethnicities and cultures, including the impressive way in which their architectural heritage has been preserved and respected. It is striking to realize that nearby Bolgar, which I visited yesterday, became a Muslim religious center as early as 922, almost 1100 years ago. Through the centuries, the spirit of pluralism in Tatarstan has known times of difficult challenge and times of inspiring renewal. But through everything, a commitment to inclusiveness has persisted. This spirit was encouraged under the pluralist leadership of several of the Muslim khanates that governed the area in the 14th and 15th centuries, and also some later Russian rulers, such as Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. And it has been dramatically evident here in recent years. On my visits to Kazan and in Bolgar, I have seen how committed people can honor the power both of cultural identity and cultural pluralism. It is striking to see how churches and mosques, for example, have been built and preserved right next to one another as powerful symbols of a profound intercultural dialogue. I would hope that we all can help point the rest of the world to the powerful pluralistic model of places like Kazan and Bolgar. The world is in need of such examples. Human challenges seem to intensify at an accelerating pace these days. Climate change, economic and technological inequalities, epidemics, political polarization, population displacements, and the daunting task of helping one another to live together in dignity. I believe deeply in the potential of the architectural world to help inspire and enrich a creative dialogue in all four of the areas I have mentioned. A dialogue between creative architectural partners, a dialogue between past and future, a dialogue between natural reality and human creativity, and a dialogue among diverse cultures. When I first anticipated this visit to Tatarstan, my thoughts went back to other award presentations through these 4 decades. The very first presentations were held in Lahore, in Pakistan, and I remember expressing my hope that night that these awards would not be seen as the end of a story, but rather as a bold beginning, stimulating further discussion, insights, questions, debates, and perhaps even more, some worries, as I put it then, about our architectural future. And I must say today how pleased I am that my hopes I expressed in Lahore 4 decades ago have been fulfilled. The fact that our theme today is built around the word dialogue testifies to our continuing aspirations. My thanks go to all of you for being a part of this extraordinary celebration as we reflect gratefully on both the inspiring gifts of the past and the rich possibilities of the future. Thank you.
Проведение в столице Татарстана церемонии вручения известной в мире премии Ага Хана в области архитектуры, охраны исторических памятников и ландшафтной архитектуры для всех нас знакомые и очень значимые события. Позвольте прежде всего выразить слова глубокой признательности от имени президента Республики Татарстан Миниханова Рустама Нургалиевича и от всех татарстанцев за высокую оценку реализуемой республикой программы по развитию общественных пространств и право проведения данной церемонии в Казани. Бекзур Рахмат, спасибо вам большое. В связи с этим хочу сказать, нам приятно осознавать, что вам, ваше высочество, как общественному деятелю и человеку, основавшемуся несколько учебных заведений по всему миру, эти проблемы очень близки. Вы как-то сказали, сегодня мы живем в обществе знаний, в котором доступ к высококачественному образованию и исследованиям приводит к устойчивому развитию. Этим нельзя не согласиться. Это действительно так. Мы полностью разделяем эту вашу мысль. Более того, вы реализуете крупнейшие благотворительные, образовательные, гуманитарные проекты, поддерживаете инициативных творческих людей, независимо от национальной и конфессиональной принадлежности. Ваша миротворческая миссия, ваше стремление сблизить цивилизации и достичь единства в разнообразии созвучно нашим целям. Уважаемые участники церемонии, для нас большая честь быть удостоенными премии Ага Хана в области архитектуры, наравне с еще 5 проектами из Бангладеша, Палестины, Объединенных Арабских Эмиратов, Сенегала и Бахрейна. Мы от всей души с вами их также поздравляем с этой большой победой. В заключение хочу сказать, что мы открыты для сотрудничества с Фондом культуры Ага Хана. У нас и вчера на месте, на Болгаре также был предметный разговор, как можно использовать ваш величайший потенциал в архитектуре и как сегодня вы, я должен сказать, очень умно, не побоюсь я этого слова сказать, нам открыли значение современной архитектуры в увязке с природой, ландшафта, окружающим миром, чтобы она была в интересах человека. Поэтому то, что мы с вами встретились, с вашей прекрасной командой, это нацеляет на то, что мы найдем еще пути к прекрасным проектам. Главное, как у нас говорят, двигаться дальше, харакатта баракат. Спасибо за все.
I want people to live with the nature and be friend with the nature. When I came to see the land after I bought it, it was a monsoon, after the monsoon, I found it is under the water.
Where I'm standing now, when I first came, I saw only water. And I just told my client that I don't see any land. And where do I build? Oh, that's a challenge, what to do over here. So then we came up with this idea of having something amphibious, which floats when the water comes and rests on the ground. The thing that makes it float is made of used steel drums, which were from the old market. So my innovation is that how to have a platform that floats and that settles on the ground. The experience of nature and learning from nature, I think, is very important when you grow up as a child. So I thought that if I could make something very light and innovation, the children can look into it and they can have something going in their mind that, oh, this is interesting.
For Arcadia Education Project, Razia Alam. Seyful Haq.
Taiwan wanted to build the first phase of a museum, and it was on a site which was capable of taking obviously more building and also had quite a lot of landscape. Given the climate of this area, we felt that it was quite important that we create outdoor spaces that expanded the space of the museum. Everywhere you look around here, you have these agricultural terraces. It's such a strong element of the landscape. And then just seeing people use the garden, that's in a way what it was. It was about bringing in people who might not necessarily always go into the galleries, but bringing them in, and then you get involved in the conversation around the museum.
For the Palestinian Museum, Zina Jardane, Lara Zurikat, Roshin Hennigan.
We came 5 years ago to this site, and the client asked us to really give them recommendation rather than putting it in the peripheries and putting it in a place that is strategically we could camouflage the whole building with the site so it can be comfortable both for people and also for the birds.
The site here, it used to be a kind of a wastewater and the garbage dumped area. Government of Sharjah started to purify the site some time ago from the garbage, where they started to almost replace the I would say native plants gradually with the native plants. And therefore, the area started to attract many local and migrant birds. Well, I think in this project, we are looking at a complete kind of an environmental kind of protection, and how the I would say architecture and the nature, they come together in a very harmony.
I think we need to always question what architecture is and what it does.
For Wasit Wetland Center, Hana Saif Al-Suwaidi, Paul Vilkanen, Ahmed Al-Ali, Farid Ismail.
Pour nous, ce qui était important, c'est de concevoir un bâtiment qui apporte une réponse aux contraintes du site et surtout une adaptation au contexte. Et l'architecture, c'est le résultat de cette démarche. Alors ce bâtiment qui a une capacité de 1500 étudiants, il a vraiment donné du souffle au campus qui était très saturé.
Ma plus grande satisfaction, c'est la prise en compte des aspects environnementaux du développement durable. Parce que si vous voyez, on est en face d'un bâtiment intelligent qui permet en réalité d'être autonome sur le plan énergie. La gestion de l'eau et de l'assainissement, c'est quelque chose de très important parce qu'aujourd'hui, l'eau du bâtiment est récupérée dans des bassins qui sont filtrés et qui permettent d'arroser des plantes, alors que même l'eau de la climatisation est récupérée au niveau de ces bassins, et ça, c'est une innovation majeure. Il y a une différence de presque 10 degrés entre l'extérieur du bâtiment et l'intérieur.
Les espaces à l'intérieur du bâtiment, des couloirs, les salles de cours, l'amphithéâtre, mais aussi la luminosité, l'éclairage et aussi la température ambiante à l'intérieur sont vraiment optimales pour que nous puissions y faire les activités pédagogiques, parce que c'est un bâtiment pédagogique. D'où l'intérêt d'être à l'aise quand on y est.
For Alioune Diop, University Teaching and Research Unit, Mai Dio, Javier Pérez Uribari, Federico Pardos Ober, Fali Diop,
The project from its onset had two ambitions, let's say. The first one was obviously to reconnect with a recent past of Bahrain, which is the heritage of pearling that had unfortunately started to disappear in the daily lives of people and also in the understanding of the national and cultural identity. So the idea behind this project initially, that snakes through all of the old quarters of Muharraq, was to plant, seeds of urban regeneration throughout the city. Once the building started having a use, started having a life, started attracting people from other areas of Bahrain, from other areas of the region, that they started, reversing the decline of the city, the impact has been, extremely positive.
For the revitalization of Muharraq, Ghassan Shemali. Noura Al-Sayed. Your Excellency, Sheikh Hamad bin Mohammed Al Khalifa.
The thing is that basically this whole participatory design, it is obligatory to involve citizens. What I realized then was that if we do not discuss anything we do in any place with the people, there will always be some damage. It refers as much also to the architectural concepts, because we are not working to help the architect implement his vision. We are working to make the people happy. This has been a boost in all directions, and this is why I believe it will be a sustainable project.
For the Public Spaces Development Program, on behalf of the government of Tatarstan, the first president of the Republic of Tatarstan, Mintimir Shaymiyev, accompanied by the young architects of Tatarstan. Thank you. Special recognition awarded to the first president of the Republic of Tatarstan, Mr. Mintimir Shaymiyev, for his lifetime effort, dedication to protect the heritage of Tatarstan.
слова благодарности всем присутствующим в этом зале, Его Высочеству, то, что вручение премии проходит в нашей республике, и ваши слова благодарности, ваша оценка нас окрыляет, вдохновляет, и в самом деле мы сделаем все для человека и во имя человека.
On behalf of the present and past steering committees, I also wish to acknowledge that our presence here today is contingent rather than inevitable. It is a response to a message in the bottle that was put out to sea by His Highness and the first steering committee in 1977, almost 43 years ago, in a generous effort to improve the human condition through architecture. And to put that into context, we noticed, at least from where I was sitting yesterday, most of the winners were probably not born at that point in time. At its core, we believe that the Aga Khan Award for Architecture has taught us to recognize that progress is precious. And all progress stems from human urge to make things that shape the world around us for a better quality of life.
Your project is a wonderful example of the complex yet sensitive ways in which architecture can act as a bridge not just for the past but also for the future.
You know, it's a really important message that when we build something new, we build it in a contemporary way, in the means that we have available to us. Not, you know, only for stylistic reasons, but really as a strong, you know, social and political message to a younger generation that we today as a society are able to build buildings of value that in 50, 100 years' time, you know, in turn will also be buildings that are worthy of conservation.
Ça a demandé un travail supplémentaire d'analyse, surtout de comprendre le mode de vie au Sénégal, de comprendre le pays et comprendre la culture.
And what we see with these projects, and the sequence really of the Aga Khan project, is ushering another mode of being an architect, one where you really want to be relevant to the challenges of your times, and you try to do it in a way that you use the language of architecture.
You look very closely to nature. Mm-hmm. We are trying to learn from those things. It's not about what we create, but how we connect.
We are here for a short period of time, and each one of us is passing through this journey of life. And we have a responsibility to make sure that when we do our term, that we really not only preserve what Allah has been given us to this earth, but also enrich that.
It would be an honor if Your Highness would like to share with us what would be the architectural wonder of your dream.
What seems to me to be very important is the quality of life that architecture can offer in various environments. In cities, in rural environments, and the conditions in which future generations grow up. I think a great deal about what our world is going to look like in 50 years, and how are our great-grandchildren going to be living, what are the environments that they will experience. I worry about rural development and how rural communities can engage in modern education, avoid excessive pressure on urbanization. There are many aspects of development which I think need careful forethought. So architecture, from my point of view, is a vehicle. It's an instrument for achieving goals that need to be thought through, evaluated, challenged, renewed. It's not a single process at a single time. This close relationship of architecture to the quality of human experience has a particularly profound resonance in the developing world. I believe that we all have a responsibility to improve the quality of life whenever and wherever that opportunity arises. Our commitment to influencing the quality of architecture, intellectually and materially, grows directly out of our commitment to improving the quality of human life.